Don't inhale too deeply.
A smell so often found trailing throughout the Old Vic's years, that of the workman's paint pot. The Bristol Old Vic has undergone numerous facelifts in the interest of attracting the fashionable masses of this harbourside town. But in keeping up with the times, drastic measures have required drastic changes, and indeed, at times the need for funding often won over the necessity for change.
Whilst the majority of the renovations were undertaken out of concern for fashion, audience comfort and playgoing practicalities, the biggest viva of them all was undertaken by Peter Morrow, CBE. Renovated in 1972, the Old Vic underwent a drastic change of face, going for a more modernist aesthetic.
Take a look at the pamphlet put together by the architects when pitching their plans of development. Morrow remodelled the theatre's exterior so that the entranceway would change from its original passage to beneath the Cooper's Hall facade. Now, theatre-goers are greeted by high ceilings and a grand staircase, which invite them into every performance.
In contrast to the modern sympathies with the past, Morrow practically uprooted the theatre and gutted out the whole of the backstage area, including all of its original stagecraft. Whilst little of this mysterious machinery remains in the theatre today, with perhaps the exception of the Thunder Roll, we are able to catch a glimpse of what may have been there through the studies of Richard Southern. As useful and beautiful these fragments may be, they are but pitiful attempts at rectifying the lack of cataloguing undergone during this renovation. Morrow effectively amputated the heritage from the building, removing historical artefacts and spaces alike.
Take a look at the image showing the sheer scale of Morrow's backstage uprooting.
He did, however, build the new Vic Theatre in the space of the original Mr. Foot's house and the Black Box Studio Theatre, one of the first in the country, which sits under Cooper's Hall where we stand now.
A further £12 million was spent on the Theatre Royal's main auditorium and back-of-house area in a 2011 to 2012 refurbishment. Andrei Blomsky rejuvenated the main auditorium, making it work for today's audiences. The stage's apron was taken back beyond the proscenium arch to accommodate sightlines in the Gods section, and a full remodelling of the backstage areas made it easier for actors and technicians alike to work in the space, as well as undoing most of Morrow's work. As we look now to the theatre's 250th anniversary, further renovations are planned in celebration. The old entranceway will be restored through Mr. Foot's house, allowing visitors to walk in the footsteps of the Theatre Royal's original patrons.
And Cooper's Hall will become the brand new studio theatre.
Check out the images provided of what the space might become, and look to your left on the far wall to see a full list of those who are contributing to the upcoming development.